Welcome to Whispers from the Other Side, a podcast where we delve into the chilling and inexplicable world of the supernatural. With each episode, we'll transport you to the edge of your seat with tales of ghostly apparitions, demonic possessions, and otherworldly encounters that will leave you questioning everything you know to be true. Our guests will share their terrifying experiences with you as we explore the unexplainable and confront the unknown. So, buckle up and prepare yourself for a journey beyond your wildest nightmares as we unravel the secrets from the other side. Our first guest is Michaela, a 25-year-old primary school teacher. Michaela, thank you for joining us. Please tell us about your supernatural experience.
Yes, of course. When I was a teenager, my family and I moved into an old house in Kempton Park that had been passed down through several generations. At first, everything seemed normal, but soon we began noticing strange things. Objects would move on their own, doors would slam shut, and we could hear whispers and footsteps in the middle of the night. We all tried to dismiss these occurrences as just our imaginations running wild, but things only got worse from there. One night, I was alone in my bedroom, trying to fall asleep when I felt a cold hand wrap around my ankle. I sat up quickly, but there was no one there. Suddenly, the temperature in the room dropped, and I could see my breath in the air. That's when I saw her, a ghostly figure standing at the foot of my bed. She was wearing a white dress and had long tangled hair that covered most of her face, and I tried to scream, but no sound would come out. The figure floated closer to me, and I could feel her breath on my face. I was paralyzed. I couldn't move, I couldn't speak. And then she whispered something in my ear, something I couldn't understand. The next thing I knew, I woke up on the floor, my heart racing and my body covered in sweat. It was then that I realized that I had an experience with something supernatural. It wasn't just a nightmare. From that day on, I was scared. I could never sleep soundly in that house again, and I always felt like I was being watched. Even after we moved out, I was never able to shake the feeling that something was following me, haunting me, and waiting to strike again.
Our second guest is Heinrich, a 38-year-old contractor. Heinrich, what happened to you?
I consider myself an explorer. One day I was exploring through the town and I stumbled across an abandoned construction site. As I looked around and gazed, I saw a group of strange people just gathered around. As I approached them and got closer, I realized that this was no ordinary gathering. The people were dressed in dark robes and standing around an altar, chanting in a language I didn't understand. The smell of burning incense filled the air, and the flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the ground. The people were dressed in dark robes and standing around an altar, chanting in a language I didn't understand. The smell of burning incense filled the air, and the flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the ground. As I watched in horror, the cult members began to bring out strange objects and symbols. That's when I knew that this was a satanic ritual. My heart raced as I realized that I'd stumbled onto something far beyond my comprehension. I tried to sneak away, but one of the cult members noticed me and grabbed my arm. I struggled and fought, but their grip was too strong. They began to drag me toward the altar, and I knew that my life was in danger. But in a moment of desperation, I managed to break free and run for my life. I didn't look back until I was sure I was safe, and when I did, I saw the cult members chasing after me with wild, frenzied look in their eyes. I ran faster than I ever had before, adrenaline pumping through my veins. I could hear their footsteps getting closer and closer. I knew that I had to find help before it was too late. Finally, I stumbled upon a road and a car pulled up beside me. I jumped inside and the driver sped away, leaving the cult members far behind. As I looked back onto the night, I knew that I'd narrowly escaped something far more terrifying than I could ever imagined. The memory of that satanic ritual would haunt me for years to come.
Lastly, we have Monique. Monique, please share your supernatural story with us.
I was on a hiking trip in the Appalachian Mountains. I went there with some friends. We loved the outdoors, we love nature, so we decided to go there for a few days and just explore. The one night I couldn't sleep, so I decided to go out for some fresh air. I was walking and enjoying the fresh air and tranquility, and it was quite calming and I felt at ease. But then I got the feeling that I was being watched. There were leaves rustling and twigs snapping, and they made me jump. I told myself that I was being paranoid, but the feeling only grew stronger as I continued on. I gaslighted myself into thinking it was a deer or some kind of bird or animal hiding in the leaves, startled by myself just as I was startled by them. But then I turned around and I saw it. A figure lurking in the shadows on the tree line. It was tall and lanky, and it had glowing eyes and sharp claws. It was much taller than any human, twice the length. And it moved with unnatural grace. It moved like it knew this forest, every rock and pebble. I knew it wasn't a natural creature. My heart was racing, and I slowly tried to back away, but the figure moved closer and closer. Its eyes never left me. It was so close I could hear it breathing. It was like a low growl coming from its throat. I knew I had to run. But my legs couldn't work, they felt like lead. I stumbled over some rocks and roots as I desperately tried to put distance between me and myself and the creature. It was relentless. It seemed to be gating on me with every passing moment. Just when I thought I couldn't run anymore, I burst through it like woods, and I was in a road. I turned around and it wasn't there anymore. I was trembling and I was gasping for air. I couldn't believe this just happened to me. I didn't know what it was. But I knew that I had escaped something truly sinister. I knew it wasn't a normal creature of the forest. I knew it was something evil. As I walked back to my cabin, I knew it was still watching me. It was waiting for me to go into the woods again. I will never go back to that fucking place again.
And that concludes our podcast for today. Thank you to our guests for sharing their terrifying and original supernatural experiences. Tune in next time for more chilling stories you won't hear anywhere else. Till then, goodbye and stay safe.